Dzina langa ndi Patrick Kachere kuchokera ku Chisomo Radio. Ndili ndi funso limodzi loka. Patenga nthawi musanabwere poyera potengera ndi zinthu zosiyana-siyana zimene zakhala zochitika ku dziko kuno. Ndiye timangofuna titadziwa chifukwa Malawi kunjaku mbuyomu akhala kukhulupirirani ndithu. Ndiye mwina ulendo uno mwayika ndondomeko zotani kuti apitize kukhulupirirani chifukwa Malawi ambiri ndikufunsa zoti akudandaula pa zochitika zosiyana-siyana ziko.
Ine ndi Doria Dende ili ku Malawi Post Online. Funso langa ndilonena kuti mkumano umene mwapangawo anthu ayembekezere zotani kutengera ndi mavuto amene Malawi akukumana nawo. Tiyembekezere kuti pakhala mademo pompano komanso movement imene iyi munena kuti muionetsa zochitika zina kutsogoloko. Anthu ayembekezere zotani, tiyembekezere kuti muli ndi maganizo ena osintha amene Malawi akuyenera kumva ziko.
Ine ndi Robert Mbedewa kuchokera ku wireless ya miji. Mafunso anga mwina kumbali naso atakugwirizana ndi mafunso ena amene afunsa zangawa. Poona ndi mene anthu akulandirira mauthenga amene mukutulutsa patakali pano kusatiranso pa wireless imene akufotokozera zikuoneka kuti anthu ataya chikhulupiriro ndi mmene zinalili poyamba anthu amakukhulupirirani koma mwina mutangolandira udindo komanso mwina kukhala chete pakatipa anthu chikhulupiriro chawo khala ngati chachepa. Mupanga motani pofuna kubwezeretsa chikhulupiriro chimene Amalawi anali nacho pa ino komanso padakali pano dziko lino likukonzekera zisankho za 2025 ngati CFT muyenda ndi chipani chiti ponekera kuti pamene timakonzekera zisankho mbuyomu munabwera poyera ndikufotokoza kuti muyenda ndi mgwirizano watonse kupita chitsogolo muyenda motani zikomo kwambiri.
Ini ndi Westin Katunga kuchokera ku Mzati Radio and TV. Mwina kungonjezeraponso mafunso amene afunsa kwa anzanga kale. Mwina funso lalikulu kumakhala kuti mukubwera pa nthawi ino chifukwa chani pamene zambiri ndithu zachitika. Anthu amayembekezera kuti mwina inu comrade Mtambo mukhale ndithu mukuyankhulapo. Mwina mwadza pa nthawi ino chifukwa chani ziwa.
Last one, then maybe tiapase ayanke, then kenako tiperekaso mpata wina onena kuti mfuseso mafuso. You go ahead.
So mwambiri, dzina langa ndine Messi Rwanja kuchokera ku wireless ya Radio Alinafe. Ndimangofuna kuti mwina ndingophatikiza pa mafunso amene yafunsa kale anzanga. Tikaona ndimene anthu akuchitira kunjaku ma reaction makamaka pa zimene zikuchitika lerozi. Ena kunena kuti muli kumbali ya chipani china alipo amene akutumani kuti mwina muyambe kupanga zimene zindicholinga chofuna kuti muchiteso anthu ena mwapatse kuti kamina mwapatse danga loti mwina adutse mosavuta ziko.
Pali pano I think ndipereke mpata kuti mwina first floor ya mafuso ayanke CIC. Over to you, Honorable Timothy Pagonachi Mtambo.
I'm laughing because of the last question. Apparently, it seems like the way we think here in Malawi is like people are robots and they can only do something because somebody has sent them. When somebody is quiet, ampasa chibans. When he is doing something, somebody has sent them. So I don't know where we should really be and what we should be doing. But I want to say this unapologetically. Unapologetically. Kuribe muntu in this country who can send me to do something. No one. Ngati pari wina wacha maganiza kuti comrade ndita kumugwirisa ntchito ndita kumutuma palibe. Ineyo ndikamapanga chinthu, I take time to consult my heavenly parent. Imafika nthawi yoti conviction imangobwera from heaven. And my ancestors, I have got very, very powerful ancestors. Oti, when I do something wrong, they tell me to say this is wrong. When I do something right, they come and smile at me. Could keep doing that. So this is purely coming from my conviction and from my heart. And if tomorrow you see me working with any other person, don't even think to say that person maybe is the one who sent him this, and that. No. The answer is a big no. And this is why no one should never take some of us for granted. I said in this statement, because the question was, who are you going to work with? Who are you going to endorse whatsoever? Let me say this. I'm going to work with Malawians. And I'll work with Malawians through existing economic, religious, cultural, or political structures. I said it at the very beginning, that CFT is not a political party. If I wanted, I should have registered where to go. You see, Zipani Zimagwa Ngatimvura kuno Malawi, every Jim and Jack is registering a political party. You see, but I'm not such kind of a person. My passion is not to govern. My passion is to be governed better. That's what I aspire. So if, as I said, we are free to work with anyone, and I have no grudges with anyone in this country. If you have grudges with me, shauri yako. Because there is nothing that you are going to do. Let's learn to love each other and move together. Because this spirit of, finishing each other, destroying each other will not take us anywhere. Because you cannot finish what you never started. You can never finish what you didn't build. So I just wanted to emphasize to say, we as CFT are going to work with anyone. Even Mawa, can we do this together? I will do that, as long as it is in the best interest of Malawians. I used to be an activist who was on NGO ticket. Now I'm no longer on NGO ticket. I'm on a political ticket. But as an activist, I can attend any function and I can work with anyone who has got a similar ideology with Citizens for Transformation. Why coming now? Now is the right time. Now is the right time. There are problems. We cannot keep postponing the agenda. We have to be part and parcel of the changing Malawi. So all I can say is that I've been quiet for the past 1 year. Apart from the fact that I'm a commander-in-chief, I'm a politician, I'm an activist, I'm also an individual, I'm also a parent. For the past 1 year, I've focused so much on writing. The commandments I was talking about and everything, I've been writing for the past 1 year. I've studied the economy of this country since independence and how we can change. So I'm willing to start contributing, even engaging government on what we think could be done better. So those in government should not think we are their enemies. If they think we are their enemies, that's a big mistake. As I speak, I do not expect some people, maybe on social media, sending some people, giving them data that start attacking comrades. It will not help anyone. Malawians are looking for solutions. We should work together, whether in government or outside government, to help this country move forward. If anyone would tell me that in this country there are no problems, that person is not living in Malawi. We should not be blinded by political affiliations. Let us love this country with passion and deliver the change we need. There might be mistakes that we have all made in our lives, but we have to seek to better our lives and better our nation always. The question of you have lost trust, how would people trust you? I don't understand this. I've seen these games on social media, and I know there are people that pay people to do that sometimes because they think they can create an impression with a small social media. This great republic of Malawi is made up of people over 20 million. And I don't think anybody has done a research or a referendum that talks about trust. And let me tell you this, as far as I'm concerned, it is in this great republic where people love putting each other down. When they see you trying to do something, they'll say, you will not make it. We knew it. When they see you rising, they will start praying every day you should fall. That demon should come to an end in this country. I should be able to feel bad when my brother or my sister is falling down. I should be able to celebrate when I see my sister or my brother is rising. Because when he or she is rising, that is how we are going to rise as a country. So this issue of trust, even when we were forming HRDC, there were few who doubted us. And we received very little endorsements. But there is no movement in this country that mobilized citizens than the Human Rights Defenders Coalition. People can choose to refuse it or what, that is the truth. But when we started, they said, who are they? They can't make it. You understand? Somebody will say, Anata comrade. No. I have not started. I just wanted to say this vividly. Ineos in Nayambe, I've not done anything. And no human being should be saying, we are not, Sinat. Actually, Sinambe. There is too much that God has given us as blessings, which we have not released. So I pray to everyone in this country, let's hold each other's hands to support each other. Not politics of finishing each other, politics of hatred. And young people in this country, this is my message to you. It won't be easy. When I move around the streets, many young people say, we'll never believe in anything. Their hopes have gone. Never give up on your country. Never give up on your country. If you don't have hope in someone, move on. Create a new hope. Or look for a next hope. So for people to be saying, because maybe this government is not doing what we expected, no. They might have their own reasons. That's why after 5 years, there is an election. So they will have to justify themselves to citizens. And for me, for the past 1 year, I've been also observing, having hope just like everyone to say, things maybe will get better, things will get better. But we cannot pass a judgment on this government because their term comes to an end in September next year. So for us to say they have failed, we can say whatever we can say, but the real verdict is next year in September. So we hope the government will work hard to make sure that the promises they gave to people are fulfilled. Dorica, most of the questions were about trust. I actually responded. Patrick Kachere talked about why coming out now, why, what strategies do you have for Malawians to believe in you? Actually, I don't want to be believed. Like I'm not here to beg, to say, please, trust. No. I'm here as a citizen just to do my part. As a citizen, I have a duty and responsibility. So whoever aligns with my thinking, then we work together. Because people go and waste time on social media thinking when they put public judgment on social media, then they'll finish someone. No. So I'm saying, young people, rise up to the occasion, contribute to the country you love. This is our country. There is no any other home we can call home. Malawi is our home. So every citizen in this country must do their part. And as CFT, we are saying, let's work together. Let's see how we can support. And the opposition, open up your eyes. Government, open up your eyes, because we all want to do something that will make our citizens proud. I think I've exhausted the questions.
Responses? Panopa, second round. Muchuraso, Momuja, institution, kumene mwachokera, musanafuse fuso.
Ine ndi Ruben Banda kuchokera ku Nkoma Synod Radio. Ndimafuna ndifuse mu 2021 muli pa unduna wa unity. Mukapita ku misonkhano munkakamba kuti boma zinthu zikuvuta chifukwa chakuti kunali zinthu zosiyana-siyana, matenda a COVID, nkhondo zosiyana-siyana. Pano munkuyankhula kwanu munakamba kuti mwina zinthu zayamba kuvuta chifukwa cha kupanga ziganizo molakwika pakati pa adindo a boma. Ndofuna ndimvetsetse kuti tigwire chiti.
And today I would like to say this is the last time I'm going to read a statement verbatim. Because when I get to action, I never read from anywhere. It emanates from passion and conviction. I welcome you to this press briefing, which is entitled A Call to Action. Fellow Malawians, you have always known me as an activist, and I've always been. I've changed my faces for a number of times, but an activist I've always been. An activist I was in government. An activist I've been after government. There are many things that I disagreed with within government, and there are many things that I agreed with within government. But my job is not to talk about what I agreed with or what I disagreed with, because I was operating on an oath of office. Therefore, today, my dear comrades, I want to remind you that you will recall that 4 years ago, I joined fellow Malawians of goodwill across the country in pressing for change and seeking electoral justice after Malawians had lost hope in the then administration. Memories of how we braved the rains, police brutality, the cold, and the heat while in the streets are still fresh. We continued standing together as we relentlessly and fearlessly mobilized the masses across the country, and the change we fought for eventually materialized. Fellow Malawians, this was your achievement, and I was with you when this historic victory was being attained. The victory was largely because of the dream that we shared as we all aspired for a country that was free of nepotism, corruption, regionalism, unemployment, and hunger. The victory in 2020 gave us a lot of hope and expectations. This was same that Malawians had in 1959 when they protested against the colonial rule. And after the independence in 1964, This was the same hope Malawians had. This was the same hope that we had in 1992 after the victory that ushered in multi-party democracy in this country. Fellow Malawians, I wanted to remind you that after winning the struggle, we developed a political project known as Citizens for Transformation, People Power. Some people may have thought that I was discarding my activism hat. But the answer is no, I never did. I would like to assure you that I remained an activist. I remain an activist, and I will die an activist, because this is a calling that is heavenly given, and I would like to call it a mosaic calling. My calling is that it's like the calling of Moses, that of liberation. When we went to vote on the chilly morning of June 2020, we all had expectations that we were going to the promised land of milk and honey. Fellow Malawians, promises were made, and we all believed in the change that was to come. My fellow youth, who in their large numbers voted with expectations of more job opportunities, easy access to business loans, equal employment opportunities, peace and freedom, are becoming impatient. Fellow countrymen, it is not a secret that while the current administration has done well in other areas, our country is still facing many economic challenges which Malawians thought would become the history of the past upon ushering of the new administration. We are still in the abject poverty, and commodity prices are rising every day. This is the truth. The gap between the rich and the poor is increasing, and sluggish economic growth is partly due to lack of decisive political and economic leadership. Currently, we are grappling with passports, sugar, and hunger crisis. To many Malawians, access to basic necessities of life is still a nightmare. The majority can hardly afford one meal a day, and our health system continues to struggle. The impact of recent devaluation cannot be overemphasized, and corruption continues to impair our institutions. While we understand the effect of the natural disasters, the Russia-Ukraine war, COVID-19 may have been inhibiting the progress, the current challenges require a decisive, corrective, and programmatic approach. Fellow Malawians, this is clearly not a change we all aspired for, and for sure, we cannot keep quiet as citizens. We have a duty to actively participate. Fellow Malawians, you will recall that when I formed the Citizens for Transformation movement on 1st of April 2020, I emphasized on participatory approach to socio-economic transformation. This is why our motto as CFT is people power, symbolizing the need for citizens to determine their own economic destiny. Fellow Malawians, destiny is not written for us, it must be written by us. We must take responsibility. In fact, it should be in all of us to advocate and press for better living standards when the needs arise. Fellow Malawians, our 2019-2020 struggle and revolution embodied a higher purpose than just the credibility of elections. Our struggle for credible electoral process was only a means to establish an ideal and good leadership. Therefore, we left the streets, but we did not hang our boots. We left the streets, but we did not hang our boots. I repeat. In June 2020, President Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera won the fresh elections with more than 50% plus majority vote that the 9 political parties of the Tonse Alliance and CFT had collectively gathered for his presidency. We all gave Dr. Lazarus Chakwera overwhelming support because we were tired of languishing in economic deprivation and political bankruptcy. We deliberately and we desperately needed both political and economic redemption in Malawi. We believe, and we believed, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera was the God-sent leader to take us all out of our captivity, and that was our collective expectation. That is why, in June 2020, I personally accepted to serve in his administration as Cabinet Minister for Civic Education and National Unity. My fellow Malawians, I humbly accepted the appointment, not out of selfish interests, as some would want to put it, so that it should suit their narratives. But I joined and accepted out of a genuine belief that it was a privileged opportunity to serve my country at the upper echelons of state power. I had not anticipated the offer of the ministerial position because there was no promises made between President Chakwera and the CFT leadership or myself during the campaign. I'm emphasizing this because there is this group of misleaders who always try to mislead citizens to say, you have been betrayed. I fought for a position, a small position like of cabinet. There is also a feeling like in cabinet, people receive miracle monies. I can challenge you that I went in cabinet, I've come out the same. The little things that I had before, I still have the same things. So if you want to be rich, it is not about public service. If you want to be rich, get to private sector. If you see anyone in public getting rich, he's a thief, and a big thief. And you have to question to say, how could somebody be rich? Because as far as I'm concerned, my salary was not enough even to pay for the school fees for my children. So I just wanted to stress this because I've seen that this is the propaganda that people have been pushing around. We collaborated in the electoral campaign with the other Tonse Alliance members with a shared vision of bringing transformation to Malawi. I would easily and effectively contribute to that change that was at hand, I thought, by accepting the position that I would be one of the participants to deal with the hardships of Malawians. That included corruption, nepotism, and many other isms which were institutionalized at that time. As you may be aware, I was a minister that was given a unique and challenging mandate to set up and establish a new ministry that was non-existent in the history of our nation. Within a space of 2 years, I managed to establish a full and functioning ministry with its comprehensive legal, policy, and institutional frameworks. We managed to enact the access to the Peace and Unity Act of 2022, which has established the first ever Malawi Peace and Unity Commission. Among others, I still remain grateful to President for the opportunity he gave me to serve Malawians in his government. Fellow Malawians, you would recall that after cabinet reshuffle in February 2023, my name was not amongst the new cabinet members. When that happened, I accepted it happily because I had done my part. And I think the mandate I was given to do, I did, of setting up a new functioning ministry, which is not an easy responsibility. And I knew that I had done my job within the short space of time, despite that there were efforts by even those that I was close with to frustrate me, to try to set up propagandas, just because maybe some didn't see me as a political partner, but rather a threat. Fellow Malawians, we have a strong conviction that sound leadership is demonstrated in how it provides solutions for its people, especially during crisis. Fellow countrymen, we have both a collective and an individual responsibility to change things in this country. As youth, power is in our hands to make a difference. We must make, and we must never relent in seeking justice, better governance, and economic transformation of our beloved nation. Fellow Malawians, I submit to us today that one does not always have to be in government to make a difference. Having said that, the weak opposition, both inside and outside Parliament, coupled with intra-political battles, have not helped in providing much-needed checks and balances to the current administration. A strong opposition, ladies and gentlemen, is very important for both our democracy and our development. Let me repeat. A strong opposition, esteemed colleagues, is very important for both our democracy and our development. But we can all agree that we have not had a strong opposition. We have a clear evidence that Malawi saw progress when we had a strong opposition. During the leadership of the former president, Bingu wa Mutharika, may his soul rest in peace. We can all agree that at his leadership, when the opposition was strong, Malawi made a lot of progress. It is against this background that we can no longer keep quiet, but to rise to our occasion to start providing checks and balances. Doing so does not mean we hate the government and the leadership, only that we love Malawi more. That is the spirit of patriotism. And it is our duty to participate and help those delegated to govern us. Section 12 of the Republican Constitution is clear that the mandate to govern emanates from the people themselves. As your son of the soil, with whom you endured scorching heat and itching tear gases on the streets 4 years ago, I surely continue fighting for a better Malawi. We are here not to compete, but to complement. Not to build, to destroy, but to build. This is our responsibility, and this is an art of citizenship. Fellow countrymen, activism is in my DNA, and I will always be an activist. As a citizen, I have a moral and civic duty to point and speak out when things are going wrong. And this is the same call I make to the great Republic of Malawi. We at CFT envision a Malawi free from discrimination based on tribe, region, where everyone has equal opportunities. This vision is guided by our core values, including trust, freedom, equality, economic empowerment, solidarity, sacrifice, and patriotism. We believe in democratic processes as the basis for economic liberation, freedom, and prosperity for all. These values must not just be slogans and rhetoric, but tangible and achievable national aspirations. Our political project as CFT is built on 10 revolutionary commandments for radical economic and industrial transformation in Malawi. Let me repeat, our political project as CFT is built on the 10 revolutionary commandments for radical transformation, that is economic and industrial transformation in Malawi. And these revolutionary commandments are, number 1, economic transformation and industrialization. Number 2, food security and rural transformation. Number 3, fighting corruption and promoting administrative justice. Number 4, energy development and industrial transformation. Number 5, equitable distribution of infrastructure, development, and wealth. Number 6, effective land, natural resources, and environmental management. Number 7, human capital development, science and technology. Number 8, civic, social, and political engagement. Number 9, youth and women empowerment. Number 10, effective and efficient public service and tax justice. Today, I'm not going to unpack on all these things because on each we have developed comprehensive policies which we think we can contribute to this great Republic of Malawi. And soon we'll be engaging citizens on these issues because we want to provide meaningful contribution to this country. We do not want just to be criticizing for the sake of it. We do not just want to be promising for the sake of it, but we believe we can have serious engagement on these issues because this is the hub of the economy. And through these commandments, we believe in galvanizing social justice, accountability, and inclusivity, while strengthening Malawi's continental and global participation. Our economic and political agenda is firmly grounded in popular grassroots citizens and guided by principles of Pan-Africanism. We firmly believe that unity is essential for economic, social, and political advancement, not only for Malawi, but also for Africa as a continent. Our vision of Pan-Africanism encompasses democracy, good governance, and economic development, with a particular focus on youth-centric projects or activities. Fellow Malawians, CFT is prepared to work with all well-meaning Malawians, regardless of their political affiliation, in formulating solutions to the current economic challenges. As CFT, we shall not discriminate anyone wishing to work with us for the common good. We have the experience of hardships together, and all of us must be willing to work together, including government. As CFT, we will soon be unveiling our new political and economic strategies, all directed at transforming this country. In fact, you do not always have to be in government to make a difference. Neither do you always have to be in the streets to press for change. But these can be done when need arises. Ours is an issue-based revolution and not one of castigating and finger-pointing. Ours is an economic and industrial revolution, and it must come to pass during our lifetime. Fellow Malawians, the time for politics of hatred and malice is long gone. Malawians deserve better, and the time is now. Ntawi tilibe, nyengo tilije, ndawi imasire. It cannot be business as usual. May the heavenly parent who art in heaven and the spirit of a revolution bless the great Republic of Malawi. Aluta continua, Victoria Aseta. God bless you. Thank you so much.